Okay, so here we are on the laptop up at the router. When we look at peak hour, so as I'll just configure those charts. Okay, so looking at those charts, this is what we were seeing before. The problem, we're in continuous upload mode, and the internal network is not benefiting, even though there's up to 300 kilobytes peak. We're seeing nothing like that on the internal network. Now, we can, if we take one of our queue trees, this is essentially all data that we don't know about without any rules, so it can be anything from torrents to anything else that's happening in the router. So, if we just stop this, it wouldn't fix the internet for us. But essentially, we know that, well, we suspect that if we've been hacked, that at least this rule allows us to limit what's going on there. So in that upstream rule, I've limited that now. So if we go back here, you'll see upload's gone way down, and notice that there's been no change on the internal usage side of things, despite the fact that I limited that rule. There's been no increase in download on our side, no increase or decrease on download on our side. So now that I've limited that rule, you're actually seeing proper correlation between our usage. See that download actually correlates to data going through our network on the backside. That upload usage is very low, around 90 to 180k per second, and you can see that it's around about the same here, around about 90k per second upload data going into the router. So what we're going to do now to isolate the issue further is I'm going to release that rule back to where it was, which I think is 100 and 1600k max. And you'll see the upload will increase, but there's no benefit happening on our side of the router. Before, the actual, say, downloaded and uploaded data correlated with this chart. You could see a download of 460k per second, and it actually was hitting our network too at 460-ish k per second. Now that we've released the rule and let that upload rule do whatever it wants, or up to a certain limit, you can see that our network actually isn't getting any of the benefit of that of what's happening on the other side of the router. So now what I'm going to do is disconnect our entire network, and that means that if we see anything that well, no data usage should be possible after this point. So here we go. I'm disconnecting. The internal unifier connection from port 2. You see our internal usage has basically stopped. but our external data usage is still going on. So that router is still sending data out these are probably requests, and this is probably the actual internet usage happening here. So there's usage that's going into the back side of the router where the internet's connected, and it's going back out at about less than 2 megabit. So this proves beyond a doubt that someone is accessing or using our internet usage, but we are not getting any benefit.